I picked Whittaker, didn't I?
Yes.
Fuck.
So, hold yourself.
Well, Verdict's MMA also picked Whittaker in my defense.
Yeah, but...
Carry on.
No, nothing. I just won. That's it.
Oh, that's it. Well, anyway, thanks for joining us.
Drop the mic. I was right.
You were right. Yeah, you were. It was a really odd fight. Like, I know a lot of people, like, I saw Chandler being critical of Adesanya. I saw Gaethje say that Whittaker won 3, 4, and 5. Like, I don't think Whittaker won 2 of the rounds. I would have to watch it again, but I feel like Adesanya comfortably won 4 of the rounds.
Yeah, I feel that as well when I saw it.
Whittaker didn't look comfortable. Once, I know we've only watched it one time. Whittaker just didn't look comfortable in the fight, not at any point. I did like the fact that he was very calm, and I do like the fact that at the start of the first round he was looking far more to counter-strike, which forced Izzy to come to him. But then he wasn't persistent enough with his wrestling, and I don't know whether that was a confidence thing or a conditioning thing, because he was able to expose Izzy's back twice.
Yeah.
Like I keep saying, if somebody keeps wrestling him before he closes this gap, they're going to expose his back. I think somebody's going to do it, and I think Izzy can learn a lot in this process, and I think he's fortunate that there isn't a Damian Maia style fighter in this top 5 bracket.
Well, who's that?
Like Jacare, yeah. Well, Andre Muniz is a bit of a way down yet, but I could definitely see him being a problem, especially because he knows for sure he doesn't want to strike. Like a lot of these guys that Izzy's fighting, and it's the same with Cannonier. Cannonier's going to want to strike with him because that's what he does. And you look down the middleweight division, so you like Whittaker's predominantly a striker, Vettori's predominantly a striker, but he tried to grapple and it didn't work out very well for him. But he's not got a particularly complex grappling game. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a very basic grappling game that Vettori's got. Cannonier won't try and grapple with him. Brunson tried to take him down, but he's reckless in his takedown attempts. Paulo Costa didn't bother. Strickland won't bother. Like you start looking further down the division. There's nobody in this division that's like a dominant wrestler. Like there is none of those fighters in this division right now. Not in the top 15 anyway. But the one fighter that keeps sticking out in my mind is Andre Muniz. Like, he's ranked number 13 at the moment, but I don't know, I just feel like he's... For sure he doesn't want to strike, but he's a big dude anyway. He's not going to be undersized by comparison. He's going to definitely want to try and close Adesanya down. He's going to keep trying to take him down until he gets him down, and if he scrambles and takes his back in the process, he'll snap an arm as he slides off.
Yeah.
I think he's a really interesting test, and I think... But then at the same time, I think Adesanya's got enough time fighting the strikers that are coming up in the division to build his grappling game up to be able to deal. So it's an interesting time for the middleweight division, you know. And then you've got Alex Pereira, who's coming up, who's a great striker, who obviously is...
Yeah, but I don't think... I know he beat him, and maybe if this was just a kickboxing match, maybe Pereira would win again, especially because he only just quit kickboxing. Mm-hmm. But he hasn't been doing the takedown defense. He hasn't been fighting in the UFC as long, and he hasn't been facing these guys for as long. And I think in his last fight, you could see where that part was still a little bit green in him. That was still a little bit exposed, which, I mean, was exposed when Izzy fought Vettori the first time in the 3rd round. That's why Vettori kept saying, like, you know, he might have won the fight. It was a split decision, but... I mean, I don't personally agree. But yeah, he just hasn't gone through that yet. Just like Blood Diamond in the beginning of the card, and just like Carlos, that they do have this kickboxing pedigree, but they haven't faced these things in a fight where they can learn, because you can do it in a gym, but it's kind of when you're in competition that you truly understand where, you know, the pressure is and what you need to do and adapt to people coming at you for force, and not somebody who knows you as much as people in the gym do, because you also know your sparring partners and training partners, so you kind of understand these paths that they go through, and you can kind of lie to yourself like, oh, I'm in this level higher, and maybe it's not that you're that level, but it's the fact that you know their patterns.
Yeah, and it's different as well when it's, you know, It's the first time you've locked up with somebody. You might not be sweaty yet. You might be dry. Like the fence feels different. The canvas feels different. Not normally when people are training, they're wearing shirts and spats and other pads as well. Like you feel very naked in there with just a pair of shorts and
those tiny gloves. Yeah,
right. So yeah, that's why Blood Diamond I think looked a bit out of his depth. It's a different environment to a kickboxing arena. I do think Alex Pereira's in the right place though. He's got Glover Teixeira with him.
Yeah,
and I think that's going to be a quick path to like good basics.
Yeah. I was pretty happy when he moved out of where, because he was in, I think, Campinas, Sao Paulo, so it's on the outside of Sao Paulo, where they do have a really great wrestling team, but for mostly females there. A lot of the Brazilian national team train in just something dos Campos. But where he was at, there was just nothing around.
Yeah.
And he would bring in some people to hold pads for him, but I mean, I didn't really think those people even matched his actual level of kickboxing.
Right.
So I'm pretty happy that he moved over to Glover Teixeira, and also that they can feed off each other, because if they share knowledge, like both of them, they could both grow. But it depends on how that really goes.
Yeah.
Is it just Glover sharing? Is it just Alex teaching? Are they both respectful of each other's, strengths?
You got to think Pereira would be a good person to be a sparring partner, to have as a sparring partner if Glover's fighting Rakic or
that Yuri.
Yeah, Prohashka.
Yeah.
Yeah, which he is.
Yeah.
That's a good shout. Yeah, I mean that's a good sparring partner for him. Anyway, we've kind of digressed. Anything stand out about Adesanya's game? Anything that you were really impressed with? Anything that surprised you about any of it?
I mean, I wouldn't say anything like surprised me. I think Izzy fought like Izzy, which is impressive. Like his feints are impressive, his movement's impressive. I feel like he tried to do a lot of those like lean back shots. His low kicks are always pretty hard. He did look a lot stronger as well in this fight. Like
he did say
physically stronger. So
how do you think he deals with Cannonier? First of all, do you think he beats Cannonier? Of course you do. You're not going to pick against Izzy.
No, I think Izzy might beat him.
Yeah, I think so too.
If Cannonier's in the right mindset, I think he can do it. But it might be a little bit too much star line in this thing. And Izzy doesn't mind, like I said, making the fight like I'll pick you apart from the outskirts.
Yeah, which is kind of what Whittaker did to Cannonier as well.
Yeah, and you have to think like Izzy's better at that game and also longer and more experienced. So
next question: who do you want Whittaker to fight next? Vettori. We don't want to see him fight Brunson again. Vettori, Costa, Strickland, Hermansson.
Well, I'd like to just see him fight Strickland so you could knock him out.
Yeah, that'd be a good fight. That'd be a good fight. I wouldn't mind seeing.
I just want to see him punch Strickland.
I wouldn't mind seeing that fight. I wouldn't mind seeing Whittaker against Vettori. I think that'd be a good fight.
Yes.
I think that'd be a real fun one, especially because you know what you're getting with Vettori, and Whittaker's consistently good. Even when he has a rough night like he did last night, I think he's still good enough to beat Vettori. That'd be a good one.
That's kind of like the established three then that keeps repeating.
Yeah. The ones I'm watching out for in the middleweight division are a bit lower down now. Like Imavov's got a good opportunity against Gastelum. That is a good opportunity. I think Strickland's probably going to get one other fight, and then he's going to be up in the top of the division. But then I don't know if Strickland's got the striking to deal with someone like Adesanya. I think he can be effective against a lot of these guys. Like he could be a real pain in the ass for someone like Paulo Costa.
Yeah.
It could be a real pain in the ass for Marvin Vettori. That might be a good fight. Do they not train together though?
Yeah, I think I saw them both at Black House.
Yeah, I'd like to see those sparring sessions. I bet they're pay-per-view worthy.
Yeah. Well, Marvin Vettori is just tough in those fights. Yeah. In those sparrings, like he doesn't care about weight class, doesn't anything, and everybody admits that he's like,
what the fuck, bro?
Right my balls.
I was right about balls. Yeah, they'd be good sparring sessions to watch.
Yeah.